Colonel George Fabyan originally came from Boston, from a very wealthy family. His family were the Fabians, who were the owners of Bliss Fabyan and Company, which was a organization that mostly sold textiles. One such textile was named Riplet fabric. This is what they were the best known for. Riplet was kind of like seersucker. It was a lightweight fabric that didn't need to be ironed, so at the turn of the century it was hugely popular. Colonel George Fabyan was mostly in the business of inheriting. He inherited about $1 to $3 million in 1905 when his father passed away. At that time, he was living in Chicago with his wife Nell on Michigan Avenue. They decided that after they inherited, they wanted to buy a summer place or a weekend getaway. So that's why they bought the Fabyan estate. It started off with a purchase of 10 acres along the Fox River and an old farmhouse. That farmhouse they then had renovated by Frank Lloyd Wright in 1907. After the 1907 remodel, the Fabians decided they liked the property pretty well, so they did move here full time. They lived here on the property for several years. The Colonel until he passed away in 1936, and Nell until she passed away in 1939. At the time of their death, they never had any children, so they set aside that the property would be sold off for a song to a group of Geneva businessmen who had teamed up to found the Fabyan Forest Preserve. They bought the whole property for about $170,000 in 1939, and the property then became the Fabyan Forest Preserve as you see it today. At the time of purchase, the Fabians owned about 350 acres on both sides of the river, so it was a huge piece of property. And nowadays, the Fabyan Forest Preserve is about 200 acres, give or take. That is still Forest Preserve land today. The villa itself was then used for a number of years as a natural history museum on the lower level, and the second floor was used as rangers' apartments. At that time, the upstairs bathroom was converted into a kitchenette, and the fire escape spiral staircase was added. Then in the 1980s to 90s, it reopened more as a house museum and it's continued that way to today. Nowadays, the villa sees over 3,000 visitors each year during its open season, and we're happy to welcome each and every one.